we're back. Another podcast. So welcome back to the weigh-in. Back with Tyrone. It's just Tyrone and myself this time.
No special guests.
No special guests. We just had a few customers come in. We should have got them to hang around, but
maybe next week.
Next week, yeah, we will look at doing a few more guests, I reckon, because we had some all right feedback from having Nath here, the bully butcher. So we will.
He had some good fishing stories too.
Yeah, he did. He's yeah, I mean, any of those guys that fish up around that Derby and those sort of locations, I just love that spot, It's like one of my favourite spots to fish. But, yeah, we'll look at getting a few different guests in. I don't know if you got any ideas of people that you want to get in.
Yeah, I got a few. We'll keep it.
Can maybe get some footy guys in or whatever. I don't know if you guys, can think of anyone that you think we should get on here.
Yeah, feel free to comment, like obviously as well, we're putting this up on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube as well. So if you do think of any guests, drop us a comment and let us know who you reckon you want. We'll try and get some people.
Yeah, it's good. So my no drinking things lasted maybe
48 hours.
I've been drinking much for like the past 3 or 4 weeks, but probably 3 or 4 weeks. I've had maybe one blowout in that time, just catching up with a mate. But I was like, I'm not drinking for 3 months. But it's hard doing a podcast after hours and not drinking. So
he says after hours loosely because he doesn't actually work.
Yeah. Well, after working hours, so after 9 a.m. But you got to wet the whistle, don't you?
Go, yeah. And you went fishing. 5 days ago? 4 days ago?
Yeah, Friday. I think it was Friday. So snuck out for a fish. I wanted to try these new products that we got. They're not a new product, but they're a new product in store. So
the Bros Tackle Deep Meat is what he gave a run, which is a bait rig pretty much, isn't it?
It basically is a bait rig. It's, I suppose the premise is off a style of fishing that we've done for, when you're battling, you might chuck a ball sinker on like a treble or something like that, and not a treble, a snell, and chuck a bit of occy down. And these are just a easier, sort of more convenient one of those rigs that you can just tie on. So,
well, you said the good thing was that you didn't have sinkers bang around on the boat when you were travelling. You could just put it onto your guide and tighten it up as you would like a plastic or a jig. And then you didn't have the sinker, a 16 ounce or a 12 ounce sinker swinging around in the wind as you do with a paternoster. So you said that was pretty good, hey?
Yeah, the benefit is just ease. So, like you said, like you rig up the night before, you literally just tie the rig on. You're not worrying about tying up hooks and sinkers, and then when you get on the boat, you're not looking for sinkers and all that sort of stuff. So it's basically like having a soft plastic tied on your rig. But I didn't mind it. We caught some good fish.
Rip it out of the pack while you're talking.
Yeah. We did catch some good fish. It took us a while. It wasn't a great day's fishing. The same sort of story as what we've had the past few times. The fishing spots. So there it is.
So you see, it's just like it's a jig head, which back in the day would have been a ball sinker, to some Kevlar cord or something, to 3 BKK hooks with a skirt over it. So for people that aren't watching on YouTube, so it's pretty much a snell to a jig head, where you replace a jig head in the old bait style fishing with a ball sinker. So that's to give you a visual on it. If you want to have a look on our Instagram. We'll put a photo up as well for people that want to have a look.
And you're not running mono there, so they're probably a bit longer wearing. There's a few things that I like about it, which was obviously the convenience factor. Mm-hmm. Rigging up the night before, like I mentioned a minute ago. And also, you literally will just cut a tentacle off an octopus, bang, 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 and drop it down, and you're away. A few things you probably need to look out for is they do get snagged a little bit. That was something you had to look out for, just because the hooks and the sinker are so close together and they're on the bottom. So I do know guys that will actually wind them up off the bottom and let them flounder around maybe a couple of metres off the bottom, and they've caught fish that way. So that's one thing. The only other thing that I would say is we caught a couple of dewies on them and they swallowed the hooks down, and it was hard work getting those hooks out.
Yeah, okay.
And because it is 3 hooks, it can be...
There's a lot of hooks.
Yeah, so if you catch a dewey on it, you probably don't want to fish it all day and continue fishing for jewies
Yeah.
after you've got your bag limit.
That's the thing, like, because I've been fishing jigs for so long over bait, like, you forget about that swallow gut hook sort of thing, because, you know, you completely forget it happens with bait.
And yeah, and
So if you get your bag limit, if you're struggling on
if you get
artificials,
the way I look at them is they're a good sort of good
Last
one to go
resort.
to, last resort sort of thing. If you we're obviously jig fishermen more so than bait fishermen, but you know, I'll fish bait every now and then if I have to, if I'm struggling or if I'm trying to drive the boat, if there's a strong tide and that sort of stuff, which happened the other day. And yeah, I would say they are. You'd probably want to be a little bit careful because of the 3 hooks. It's a, you know, and they're good hooks as well. These ones on these
they're
umbrellas.
they're BKK, so they're not going to bend or anything.
Nah,
They're pretty good hooks.
That was the only one thing that I would say is the only downside to them. Other than that, they're a great rig, good idea. But
I think a Broiler's Tackle's done a good job on that.
so they're good to have in your kit bag. So I mean, like I said, they're a good one for last resort. If you want to fish bait, saves you doing all the bait rigs and that sort of stuff. But I still think that jigs outfish bait. You know, in my experience over fishing for demersals for, you know, a fair while now.
Yeah.
The key is just to find the school and get them fired up.
I think where a lot of people have an issue with fishing jigs is they, for instance, might struggle with not getting the feedback. So obviously when you're fishing jigs, you don't feel the bites, you don't feel the nibbles.
100%.
And you don't get much bycatch, and then all of a sudden you just hook the good fish. Where with bait, you get bites, nibbles, a bit of feedback. You might hook a few wrasse, a few Sergeant Baker or whatever, which you still hook on jigs, but not as often. And then you kind of feel like you're in the area, you're catching fish. You might not necessarily catch more fish, but you're getting the feedback, which gives a lot of people that sort of thing they need to make them feel like they're on the right track to catching better fish.
Yeah, people want to feel like they're fishing, and like
when you're fishing
how
bait,
often
you
do
feel
you
like
fish
you're
with
fishing.
someone with bait, and you
oh.
go wind up, we're moving spots, we're not getting anything, and because of the jigs, you'll know if that school of fish is a school of jewies and they're fired up, you'll catch one.
Yeah.
So and you'll go, come on, wind up, we're moving, you know, we're out in the sand, and they'll go, oh, hang on, I'm getting bites, and you go, mate. You're pulling yourself. You're not gonna. There's no.
We could drift here for 5 hours.
And
You're
you
not
just sit there
gonna.
and just cross your arms and you go, righto, here we go, come on, mate. And then next minute, oh yeah, no, wind up. And it's like,
It's fishing with your dad.
my man,
Nah, your dad's
he
good.
goes all right on the jigs. He actually used plastics most of the day.
Did he?
I wanted to try these out, but yeah, I mean, the same sort of thing. I mentioned the fishing was pretty hard. We had to move around spots like we did the time before with you and Nath. But we found...
Yeah, and you said before that they weren't on the spots you normally find them, eh? They're totally different spots.
Yeah, that's sort of what I found. It's the spots they've been on maybe in the last 2 years. They've been hanging on in the last 2 years. They're not there at the moment. So
is it the tide, you reckon, pushed them off those spots?
I don't know. Maybe time of year as well. But I mean, I've had a couple of spots where there's been schools of jewies on for 2 years. Like I could go there and
You always get a jewy.
and I'll know, all right, I'll get fish here, and they're not on there at the moment. And the spot we ended up getting them on was in 40 metres, and it was just a small lump. And they were actually off the lump, the fish. And I haven't fished this spot for a long time. And so I thought, struggling a bit here, I'm going to go fish something different. Drove over, and just before we got to the spot, I saw a big school of fish, and I could tell they were jewies. And they were bigger jewies as well, like the ones we ended up getting onto the time before with Nath were only just around 50.
You see them on the sound.
Yeah, these were all sort of 8 kilo fish.
Yeah, that's what you want, really.
Yeah, so I'm confident next time I sort of know the region that they are.
So really what he's telling us is, I took you and Nath to our shit spots. And I hope you're listening, Nath, because Mark's telling us right now he took us to his shit spots and he takes himself to his good spots. When you haven't got your Navionics app open, pinging spots on your phone.
I actually took you to my good spots. What I'm saying is sometimes you just got no idea what the fuck's going on.
You are right. That's fishing.
And the key is to move around.
Yeah, it is. I'm strong. Like, we still get customers in here that now go, oh, you know, I just drift. I find a spot and just drift for 2-3 hours. I'm like...
They might pick up fish doing that.
You would. But
you'll get a mixed bag.
Yeah,
probably.
you know, it's where you get probably your KGs and, you know, more of a mixed bag. But I still find that finding fish and dropping on fish is the way to go.
Well, that's... If you go fishing with someone that does that and you try chucking a jig down, you try pulling your dick for 3 hours. While they're
Yeah, it's
drifting.
not fun.
It's not. And you'll get over it pretty quick, and you'll chuck a bait down. So it's a definitely more targeted type of fishing. But basically, that's it. Like I feel like I've sort of found out where they're hanging out. Next time I go out, I'll fish somewhere. A similar spot in either a different region or the same region and try and figure out a pattern with.
So
where
where's your
they're
spot?
hanging out.
You can tell us yet or what?
Yeah, so east 114
Near the water, under the cloud,
Between,
between the sun and the
Esperance and
earth.
Calbarry. You know that spot. You line that cloud up with that bit of white water. There's no chance. I'm telling anyone where I fish, mate. There's enough people getting fish out there at the moment.
Mate, how many fish were caught over the weekend?
Well, there was good weather.
Yeah, I think everyone was fishing.
How
There
did
was
you go?
so-
Did you get one over the weekend?
Don't even talk to me. I went out and trolled for mackerel on Sunday morning. I got up early because the weather was going to be good. So I went out with Ree. We went out and ski, and we pulled lures until about 9-ish, maybe. Could have been 9 o'clock. And it was just I went to a different spot we went to last time. We put that video up on YouTube. So last time I went out a bit wider, and the water was a lot cleaner. And I got tuna, and there was bait everywhere. This time I said to myself, I'll troll the shallower water, and I pulled lures behind the 3 mile, and all I got was weed. It was just you need a live bait or something. It's way too hard, and there's that much seagrass around.
Well, the guys, I won't give up the spot in Freo. It's the same issue in shallow. They get their mackies there, but they just drift through their custom stick baits.
You got to have the cast stick baits to use liveys. Like, I want to go and cast stick baits, just drift and cast stick baits. And I'm thinking about taking the ski out to do that because there's got to be fish there. Like, it just looks so fishy. It's just like the weed pulling lures. Obviously, because you got line in the water, you got like a lure that dives 2 meters or 3 meters. And any bit of seagrass that touches your line is going to roll down to the lure.
Yeah.
And you end up just hooking. Yeah, nah. And you got to just change pull your lures in and check your lures every 5 minutes. And then you're like, yeah, it's pointless.
So they have a bit of success, those guys. Like every
They do,
year.
yeah, every year.
And there's quite a shallow spot there that they fish.
Mm.
And I mean, if you think about it, you just really target the area where you think they're going to be in.
Yeah, literally.
And you can really hammer it, and you will catch fish for sure. And I suppose it's one of those ones like jigging, sometimes because you see more fish caught trawling.
Exactly.
You think,
you're going to troll lures.
it's like fishing, a bait. But yeah, it's a funny one. I actually wouldn't mind casting stick baits on a few of those spots where we got those mackies last time. And there's a couple of others. I mean, there's so much to try and unpack at the moment. It's like, what do we do? Because the water temperature is so high. There's marlin getting caught. There's wahoo. There's So, and it's probably not going to be a long period of time. There's a few months where you got to sort of make a call.
Well,
and
now
decision.
it's now to roughly May, like mid-May, and then it's gone. Like beginning to the mid-May. So that warm water, see you later.
It might be
But then we get our better weather too. We kind of start getting good weather.
might be a thing to try and, I don't know, you might have to rig up some marlin gear for me, mate, because there's a few spots. I did hear of a guy up north, not too far north of Perth. First crack, went out there within like a couple of hours, had a marlin. So, and I know there's guys out in Metro getting them.
Yeah, just off Perth. Like the water's warm and the current. Like we got some good spots off Perth where you don't have to go that deep. Like in the past, like I'm talking 5-6 years ago, I went out and we pulled lures off Perth. In that like 200 meter mark where the contours push up, so it goes from like 150 to like 300 really close, and you kind of just look for the current and you just pull lures alongside the current. And we hooked 7 marlin in one day.
Yeah, right.
We only landed one of them because I'm a rookie.
Yeah.
But we actually hooked a fish, and there's a video again on YouTube. This is back then, and we hooked this fish, and my mate who was new to fishing, he was on the rod and he hooked it. We hooked it on 24 kilo. And we fought it for 2 hours maybe, and got it at the boat, and then the reel seized up, and you can see it on video. We've literally got it on video. The reel seized up and the rod's loaded up, and it's just snapped, and we could literally see the fish in the water. And it was big. Nah, no way. I didn't have a waterproof camera.
That's where we need like the harpoon.
Yeah, just harpoon it.
Yeah, just bang.
I would have necked it and eaten it.
Yeah, bring it back in, way in.
Marlin fishermen hate
All
you
the
necking
greenies
marlin.
would love you, just dragging that thing in by tail first.
But it's like a fast-growing fish. Why not neck it? Smoke it.
If you eat it,
Yum.
I don't have
Yeah,
an
I'd
issue
eat
with
it.
But it's funny how the people have a dig at you because it's a big fish.
Yeah, but even though it grows quick,
Same with sharks and that. They're happy for you to.
go neck a 40-year-old Jewy.
Oh yeah, or go and catch bloody 30 whiting or something like that, and they've got no issue with the little ones. Like, yeah, good on you, mate. And then you bring a shark in, and they, oh my god,
Can't believe you killed a shark.
So
Shark's good eating.
yeah, well, I don't think it's that good eating, but
I don't mind it, eh? Like, I reckon it's pretty good.
yeah, fish and chips maybe.
Yeah, fish and chips. You got some crays as well.
Yeah, I mean it's a good time of year for crays as well, March. So
How deep are the crays at the moment? Are they in, out? What's the
we're
deal?
actually fishing inside. So man, we're only in a couple of meters of water, just fishing the lumps.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I mean there's all that stuff off Ocean Reef and Frio and all that, like all that reefy sort of country. I think it would be fishing all right. The only
So you're
trouble
on
is-
the reef and not on the sand. You're fishing
No,
hard up.
not in the sand. No. So, sort of just on the weed and the edges. Like you could chuck them in the weed and that around some of the reefs and that, and you'll do all right catching crays. Only trouble is we had a few that had been ockied.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's sort
Is
of
that because you left your pots too long?
left
or?
them out there probably a little bit long. We're only pulling them sort of a couple of times a week at the moment and rebaiting them and getting a feed. But yeah, there's some good crays around. So I think we pulled 4 pots and what did we get? About half a dozen crays or something like that. So
Yeah, how
and
good.
that was like they've only just gone in. So
Using new thick baits cray gauge, I see.
yeah, the new cray gauge. Only trouble is it might be. I think the full moon's coming up soon, so that is an issue. But that gauge worked well.
There's the gauge,
So,
stainless steel, made in WA with a bottle opener on the end.
bottle opener's gold.
Yeah, bottle opener's good. And there's a photo of Mark using that on our Instagram. And I'll put a video up too because he gives it a plug. And he did it just to take the piss out of me. And I'm putting it up anyway.
Oh, whatever. I sent one of the selfie videos that Pablo's known for, but that's a quality gauge. I mean, it's cray gauges are you can get them heaps of places, but it is good to have a quality one.
Good
I think
gauge.
The bottle openers is the kicker. You want to have a bottle opener, just because
Yeah, exactly.
if you're not crayfishing,
You're drinking.
you drink it.
Is that what you're saying?
And it's good to have one on the boat, so they stay on your boat. So good to see these things out there.
Nah, it's good to have a good gauge.
And there's a few crabs around actually. My neighbour went down to Mandurah and bagged out on crabs the other day. So
Yes, so we got him in a crab gauge too. So here's still crabs going around. They've gone a little bit deeper now. And I haven't crabbed for a while actually, so I don't know what this one's like because that fresh water.
Well, he was down in Mandurah. They weren't big, but he bagged out size crabs. So
Yeah, and crab's so good. I love crab.
yeah, my missus loves crab, but it's just
can't
not my
be bothered.
first. I love them as well, but it's just not my. I probably should start doing it more now with the kids, but it's just not my first option, Like,
Oh, I'll eat crab over cray every day of the week. 100%.
Nah, yeah. Catch me. I can't split seafood. I'd love I could live off just seafood, but just the amount of meat you get off a cray for me is probably the winner.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean that's another thing. If you are looking for something to do at the moment when the weather's all right, is chuck your pots out. 'Cause
Yeah, exactly.
I know a lot of people that really look forward to it.
People have that mindset stuck in the head where you weren't allowed to cray now.
Yeah,
But obviously for the last, year and a half, 2 years, you can cray all year. How long has it been?
it's 12 months. Yeah, 12 months.
How long's it been
now.
like that for?
I don't know, like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, so I think people still getting used to that.
But
You can cray all year thing.
it's also guys that just you just fish the whites. You just fish the whites. But there's plenty of times a year where you'll bag out on reds inside. Like it's. And the guys that probably don't know as much about crayfishing will just fish the whites and then put their gear away for the
year.
rest of the year. But
So, you hear so many mixed reports on the whites and reds. It's just the reds when they've shedded their shell and then they're moving out deeper, hey?
to be honest, I don't even know enough about it. I don't think they know enough about it, but it's...
Because you hear things people say they're different species, they're this, they're that, they bury themselves in the sand and that's why they're white.
There's definitely resident crays and stuff like that, but the whites migration, they they bury himself in the sand. They molt their shell, bury himself in the sand, and then go on their run. I think it's when they're about 3 or 4 years or something like that, and then go out there and whatever, let out their eggs and perilous and all that sort of stuff. And then once they go out there, I don't know where they go. They die. I think some of them come back, and I don't know enough about it.
They go quite deep, eh? They go to like 250, 300 metres or something, don't they?
They go, they do. And mate, there's actually been a tagged cray. It was a few years ago. I'm not sure who tagged it, but a research one. They tagged it. I think it was off Freo.
It was Wreckfish West. I think I remember reading something on Wreckfish West.
So Freo, within like 2 or 3 months, that same cray was caught off the Abrolhos.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Wreckfish West, or maybe they did some studies on that.
Yeah.
Because I remember going to something about crayfishing that they did, and it was based around that.
So they don't necessarily just head straight out.
No, head straight out.
They'll head north. Yeah, so... I mean, I like the whites because it's
awesome bringing up a full pot. Like, it's a cool feeling.
But also but when the demersal band finishes as well, you just imagine what the Jewies and that are thinking with the amount of activity that's happening on the sea.
Stirring the floor up.
And a lot of people will fish. I mean, there's cray, soft plastics and all that sort of stuff out there now because they think, Jewies are just feeding on crays in the whites. But it's not necessarily that. I've had this discussion with someone. You imagine all those crays on the seafloor. Imagine the ockies that are feeding on them. So I think a lot of the Jewies are still feeding on the ockies and stuff that
and the bait fish that they're eating their stuff that's kicked up off the bottom by the crays walking. Like it's like when you're burling up for snapper, people think in their head they've got to match the burley, but you're matching the skippy, the bait fish, the muleys, the scalies that are coming up to eat the burley, and the snapper are feeding on them.
It's just a huge ecosystem going on at there. And so my theory is that you still got to fish where the crays are because that's where the rest of the activities going on with the ockies and that
makes
sort of
sense.
Stuff. So that is one of my favourite times of year to fish.
Yeah, no, everyone loves fishing that time of the year. Like you said, everyone fishes the cray plackies and this and that, thinking that. But yeah, it's cool fishing when the crays are. And I have to admit, like I didn't cray for the last 2 years because it's too hard getting up so early.
You like your pillow too much?
Yeah, pretty much.
Tyrone's got one of those A-frame pillows. The ones that go. He's got like the pregnancy pillow.
Do I? Yeah, I do. Shh, don't tell anyone. I love that pillow.
Hard getting him out of bed.
I hate getting out of bed. But go on cray, like pulling over a full pot over the top of the side of the boat is sick. It's so good.
Yeah, it's like Christmas, eh?
Yeah, it is. And I have to admit, when everyone starts coming in and getting crayfishing gear and all the season starts, it starts to make you think of Christmas because you know that they're doing it to get Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
For a thing. And you shot your bow today, hey? You went and sighted your bow in?
Yeah, mate. Robin Hood over here. I was like... I was busy at work, so I had to sight my bow in.
Yeah, busy at work. What work?
Yeah, so I sighted in. We've had bows for, I don't know, how of a year or something now. Maybe.
Yeah, about a year. We bought Adam Greentree, who's a pretty famous bow hunter. We bought his old bows.
Yeah, so we got, actually, they were
they're good bows.
Yeah, mate, it looks like
they're pretty much brand new.
I forget what mine actually is.
Mine's a Traverse, which I've shot twice.
Is that that's Matthews? Isn't
Yeah,
it?
mine's Matthews.
What was mine? Prime, I think, isn't it?
I can't remember.
Yeah,
I got the better one. That's all I know.
Yeah, because you ordered it. And you're like,
I did the work.
And he sends me a photo, and he's like, "You've got the green one." And I was like, "Oh yeah."
You said to me, "I want the camo one." I was like, "Perfect." You can have it.
And then I knew that's how I knew I had the bad one. I was like, "Well, not bad, but I knew I had the better one." Because you were like, "Yes, sweet." Yeah, that's wicked.
Nah, he actually said to me that because you're taller, you're better off having that one anyway.
Yeah,
because I'm only short.
So I sighted in. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I can hit the target.
You've shot a couple of goats with your bow, haven't you?
Shot a goat, one goat.
One goat.
Yeah, one. It was actually not a bad billy. So I
And then you ate it. You sent me a video of you charring up on the barbecue. Didn't you?
Yeah. No, so I've shot. I don't want to shoot too much with it because like I said, I'm still learning. So I want to get good at it before I start I don't want to be inhumane and make something suffer. So I want to make sure I'm a really good shot. But I'm pretty comfortable up to about 30 meters. So
Yeah.
it's different to normal hunting. It's like I've hunted with a gun for most of my adult life, and it's just this. When I shot that goat, I was like in a stare off with this thing. I was obviously in I looked like a bush.
In the full 3D suit.
Mate, if someone saw me, they'd be like, well, "What are you doing? Look at this knob." But it worked. It worked so good. Like I snuck in, and it was like bedded. It was laying down with maybe 6 or 7 other goats, and I was like in the most uncomfortable position, waiting for it to stand up, and eventually it stood up, and I got one off, and I was pretty happy with myself. But
did you do any sounds? Did you go?
I did it afterwards. I was like, "Ew." Nah.
Yeah, you did. You sent me a video giving me the shits. I was like, well, it was hot. It was like friggin' 36 degrees.
Yeah.
So it was hot, and you sent me a video just to stir me up.
I'm into that now, though. The sort of hunting and eating what you're eating, like no waste.
Well, it's the same as fishing,
It is, I think there's a lot of people that hunt as well, and WA doesn't have the best hunting culture.
Nah, it doesn't. Like over east, we got customers over east, and they go out all the time and hunt.
Yeah.
You can just hunt anywhere.
Well, they can hunt like state forest and all that, and oh man, it would be awesome if we could do that.
It'd be so good. They're paying people to go hunt invasive species.
Oh well, they'll send a chopper up, and they'll pay a chopper however much
a chopper
$800
is
an hour or something like that, and they're just literally just letting off rounds, killing animals where they could be making money off.
Tags or whatever, however they chose to do it.
Yeah, so, but at the same time, the mindset over here is like people will see, 4 or 5 goats, and they'll just slay 4 or 5 goats and then just leave them there, and it's like, I
think that people that genuinely hunt aren't like that, but it's the same as fishing. Like fishermen know that you just don't go out and kill fish and throw them outside of the boat.
Well, it's funny because it's like I look at it like very similar, where it's like the same thing with the spots, because you can take people to your hunting spots,
and people go there and shoot a goat away.
It's like taking people to your best fishing spots.
Exactly.
You rock up the next time, or your best beach fishing spot, and
your mate will be there,
and your mate's there, and he's got 6 of his mates there, and you're like, it's not really how this works, mate. So I think a lot of people are protective, which I get, but the key is to find like quality private land that is you can use, and there's no one else on. So if anyone's listening that's got a good farm that wants to let me
well, on that, the other day, I don't know if you know of him because you're not on Facebook or not, there's a guy, famous WA hunter called Goatman.
Yeah, right.
He's like famous in Perth, and there was a video of him a while ago. He's a fisherman as well. There was a video of him last year, and he's in the Rottnest pub.
Yeah,
he came in here the other day, and he's been shopping with us for a while.
Yeah,
mate, and he showed me a few photos and that. He's been getting heaps of pigs local, and heaps of goats local. But he actually got some salmon too.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is, mate, this time of year is one of the great times of year for weather, and also for, obviously we got the mackerel. There's dolphin fish. There's all this sort of stuff. Wahoo getting caught out.
Oh, everywhere, yeah.
But salmon as well, which is, we spoke about it with Nath last week. And the salmon's like one of the biggest fisheries in WA.
Massive.
Like probably that and cray fishing in the whites, are the two most exciting periods of
100%.
fishing. So we're not far off them sort of starting to make their way up in Perth waters. Maybe, I don't know, at least probably a month. But
so we got a salmon night here in the shop on the 31st.
Yeah.
So we're doing, you're doing a bit of a talk. You're going to tell us about all your salmon stuff.
I've actually caught a few salmon.
Well, yeah, so that's why you're talking. You're the salmon expert.
Yeah. I'm not the expert, but I've got a few salmon stories.
We got Wreckfish West said they're going to come down as well, do a bit of a talk too. We got a few prizes. Unler from Ocean's Legacy's coming down. Ando from ASWB Lures is coming down. It's online. You can buy your tickets online. It's 31st. That's Wednesday night between 6 and 6:30. We're going to start. We're going to give you guys some pizza. Everyone that signs up will get a lure as well. Out of their $20. Jake Rotham from Onboard Agency, Salty Crew.
Yeah.
He just dropped off a door prize. Pure Fishing has dropped off a door prize as well. We got a 9-foot rod to give away. So it's going to be a pretty cool night, I think.
Be a good night. Yeah, mate, I'm happy. If anyone wants to come and pick me brain footy-wise or anything like that as
And
well.
get a
now
photo.
the footy season started.
Mark will be signing photos.
Tyrone's already hit me up for free tickets already for the Collingwood game, so he's absolutely dreaming. I was like, mate, it's the two biggest supporter bases in AFL footy. He's like, oh, I don't watch footy. But then
Look, the girlfriend asked me for tickets.
Yeah. I was like, Nate, last time he was out on the piss, there was a couple of the West Coast boys there. He sent me 100 photos with him. I was like, you're the biggest groupie in bloody town,
We just did that to give you the shits.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to talk a bit of footy and whatever. If you want to come down and we'll have a good night, salmon-wise. So, mate, I'm looking forward to it. Now that we got that ski.
Yeah, it'll be sick target salmon on.
Yeah.
That'd be so good.
Yeah, you might actually get your target species.
Oh, yeah, I've been trying. I'm literally targeting the hardest target species in Perth at the moment.
Mate, I took you fishing, and within the first 20 minutes, we had 3 Spanish mackerel.
Because all I had to do was set the lures.
Well, you set your own lures.
Yeah, I'm also driving the boats. I'm doing and fishing. So
I think we know. I think we've just figured out what is the most important job. It's not setting the lures because you set your own lures and you're trying to. It's the person behind the wheel. So, or maybe it was Nath. He might have been our lucky charm.
maybe I should take Nathan out on the ski. He can like hold on to me and as I drive the ski.
Nate's got to come out the farm and help me butcher up one of our cows.
There you go, Nate.
Yeah.
You're too busy to come out fishing.
Yeah, I'm filling our cool room up. So when COVID happened, I got like had the full panic out. And I started a veggie patch, and I've got a cool room, and I was like, I'm living off the land.
Did you think the zombies were coming?
Never going to the shops again. Yeah, stocked up on ammo. I was that bloke, but.
Put his alpha hat on.
Yeah. No, I didn't go that far, but yeah, I'm ready to go if COVID comes back.
There you go.
But yeah, so what else is going on? We got a seafloor control order.
Finally, we've been waiting for these for so long. So we got the limited. I'm pretty sure they're limited because I can't find much info on them, and trying to decipher when the Japanese send me things is pretty hard. But we got the Legend S. So there's a few photos on Instagram for the guys that are not listening on YouTube and just on the podcast. So we got they're like a long jig, kind of like the Spy 5. There it is on the video there.
Yeah, I like them.
There's a glow, but some of them got glow dots in the back, there's stripes, all the standard seafloor colours. But they've made a long jig, which a lot of people now with slow pitch are going back to.
Yeah.
They're realising that a long jig, if it's weighted correctly, works as slow as a short fat jig, which is good.
Yeah, no, it's what you do. It's long and skinny goes all right, same as short and fat. It's what you do with it, isn't it? It's how you work it.
Apparently, yeah.
If you got both, you're just lucky. So yeah, no, they look like a good jig.
They've got heaps, so come grab one.
Yeah. I actually might take some of them out when I take the ski out, maybe on Friday.
Sure, mate, I'll put them through the till. You pay for them.
Yeah, I'm taking that ski out soon because you're going to break it before I get the chance to use it, judging off our last service report. So,
Mate, that had nothing to do with me. It's the liner. It's fine. It's just the liner. He said that they replaced them.
yeah, we'll be right. That ski's looking that good right now as well with the.
Oh, it looks awesome. It's so good to fish off.
We'll do a review on ski. So we got a Fish Pro from next door. The guys at Sea-Doo and Can-Am. What are they called? The
WAC-Doo.
WAC-Doo. Yeah, WAC-Doo. So if you are looking for something, get down there and see those guys. They have helped us out, and we're getting good use out of this Fish Pro. But we've basically modified it to, it's red, black, and white with the Tackle Headquarters logos and stuff on it now. So we'll do you want to do a walkthrough on that?
Yeah, I'll do a walkthrough on it, and then we can put it up with this video.
Maybe when it's in the water.
Yeah.
So I'll look at maybe catching a mackerel on there just to christen it. So you spent 6 hours trying. I'll get out there and actually do it. So we'll look at that, and also we'll say it again. But if there's any guests that you guys want to hear from,
feel free to contact us. Doesn't matter what form of media you want to contact us on. Let us know, and we'll see who we can get on.
Any other ideas for the podcast or the shop or anything like that, get in touch. But yeah, thanks guys for listening. We better go because Tyrone's battery is running low on the computer.
It literally is.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.